back to the show, everybody. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this conversation. All of us saw our lives change dramatically in 2020 because of the pandemic. But now a new documentary is telling the story of a single day in that turbulent year. Look at this.
I want to have kids more than just about anything. I want them to grow up in a world that's kind. Why can't we change? Why can't we be kind?
That's a clip from Life in a Day 2020, a new documentary from Oscar-winning director Kevin MacDonald. It just debuted at Sundance and will be available on YouTube this weekend. And we're thrilled to have director Kevin MacDonald join us live right now. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for being here. I love this concept. I love the process, and I'm fascinated by it. Did you give the folks any parameters, Kevin, of the narrative, or how did you choose the individuals?
Well, I just asked people around the world, because we got material from 192 countries, 320,000 something clips from 192 countries, so a lot of stuff. I asked people just to film their lives in an honest way, just to show what was really going on. And obviously for a lot of people, that's something very mundane, very ordinary. But for other people, it's dramatic days. They're losing loved ones. They're having their engagement requests rejected by their girlfriend. All sorts of dramatic things going on. And I also asked them to answer some questions. And a few people chose to do that. And the questions were, what do you love? What do you fear? What would you like to change in the world? And what's in your pockets? And so those kind of ideas, those themes are sort of leafed through the whole film. And the movie is 85 minutes. It tells the story of a day from midnight to midnight, but also tells the story of human life, because it starts with an amazing, slightly terrifying sequence of women giving birth all around the world. And then near the end, we have a sequence of old people who are telling us the wisdom they've garnered, I guess, from a lifetime. And in between, we see, the rest of human life.
Kevin, I think it goes without saying that most of us, I would say, would consider 2020 a rather wretched year. When you were looking through the thousands of hours and the thousands of submissions, what surprised you? Was there perhaps more hope in these stories than you anticipated in such a horrible year? What shocked you?
Well, first of all, I should say that we made one of these films in 2010. So it's so fascinating to see how things have shifted in that time.
Yeah.
And it's definitely true that we had more sad stories, I guess more thoughtful stories, people grappling with difficult things, either because of COVID or other losses in their lives. But to set alongside that, we had really incredibly joyful and beautiful things, often involving children around the world. And so there is enormous sense of hope in this film. I think I see it as a film which looks clearly in the eye of mortality and says, yeah, look, we're life can be tough, and we all know it's only going to end one place. But boy, are there a lot of beautiful, amazing things to do along the way.
Before we have about a minute or so left with you, I wanted to ask you, another high-profile project that you're going to be working on is of much interest to me. I'm a huge fan of Oprah, and I grew up in Chicago, Kevin, so I was a homegrown Oprah Winfrey show kind of guy. When Kevin is going to be doing an Oprah Winfrey documentary, I would imagine when you are dealing with a subject matter like Oprah Winfrey, whose life has been on display for all of us for decades, it is a rather tremendous pressure. Would you categorize what you're feeling as pressure or excitement?
Well, no excitement, because that's what makes it interesting as a subject, is that we all feel we know Oprah because the show was everywhere. And she is still everywhere. Her opinions are still respected by everybody. But I wonder, who is the human being beneath that? What were the real struggles that she had? What is the side of her and of the show that we don't know about? So that's always, from a documentary maker's point of view, what's so fascinating, is to take something people think they know and to surprise them.
Did they, Kevin, if you don't mind me asking, did you approach them or did they approach you? And because the process fascinates me, because I would imagine a pitch with Oprah Winfrey is a pitch like no other.
Well, it has to be said that, you know, interviewing, I've already done an interview with her, interviewing one of the greatest interviewers of all time is an intimidating process. But no, I went to her with the producer, who was an old friend and colleague of hers. And I think she particularly liked a film I made a few years ago about Whitney Houston, the singer. And we talked about that, and we discussed that film. And I think she really liked the idea of looking at her life in a different way. She's never written an autobiography. She's never done any film like this before. So I'm totally excited about it.
Well, we can't wait to watch this current film, Life in a Day 2020. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you, too. Life in a Day 2020 will be available to watch for free on the film's YouTube channel starting Saturday. Can't wait to watch that. What a great concept.